Well, hello, Psi Social Impact Fellows. I'm Barbara Hendrie, Psi from the Kappa chapter at Bowdoin College, where I did my undergraduate work. I'm so sorry I can't be with you in person right now, but I have to be here in Nairobi at the United Nations Environment Assembly meeting. So, what is the United Nations Environment Assembly, you might ask? Well, it's actually the highest level body we have of global governance for the environment. And it's made up of the environment ministers from all of the member states of the United Nations. So this meeting happens every 2 years in Nairobi, which is the headquarters of my own organization, the United Nations Environment Program, where I'm the regional director for North America, based in Washington, D.C. And this week, the member states are negotiating, among other things, whether or not to create the first ever global treaty on combating plastic pollution. And this is a huge deal. And it's taking all hands on deck to help make it happen. You might know this, you might not, but plastic in the environment, and especially in our oceans, is actually a huge problem. Increasingly, it's getting to be on a par with climate change and also the loss of our biodiversity. Our oceans produce, you may not know, but they produce about 60% of our atmospheric oxygen, so the air we breathe. But we are literally choking them to death with about 11 million metric tons of plastic garbage entering the ocean every single year, which is a direct threat to human well-being. So all that's to say that I do feel I have a bit of an acceptable excuse not to be with you in person, but I'm so delighted to be able to join you virtually. All of you are in some way making an important contribution to the social good. And I can't tell you how motivating and how much that means to me, especially in the face of some of the challenges that we face on this very fragile planet. And I have to tell you, it's been a very tough week in that regard. So knowing that you all are there is very, very helpful. I have to say, making forward progress at the level of global governance is quite frustrating at times. Sometimes movement is measured in centimeters, not even inches, but centimeters. But then every now and then you get a growth spurt. So I do have to take my hat off to the small handful of member states who decided it was about time to flex their leadership muscles and do something about this critical environmental challenge. And that means everything. And it's actually how progress really happens in terms of international cooperation. And there are definitely setbacks, and you have to grit your teeth and find the motivation to keep chipping away. So for all of you who have in some way focused your path on making a positive social impact, it's very, very heartening, especially because I know that working for the social good is not straightforward. It's really easy to get defeated and also really just hard to figure out what's the best way to go forward to make your work meaningful and somehow still make a living for yourself and your family. Trust me, I've been there. And we're going to be chatting more about this and other things when we meet in the coming weeks to discuss some articles on social leadership that we've shared with each other. But for now, I just am so delighted to join you and to say how much I appreciate your choices and to hope you feel really good about them. In my experience, the world moves forward in a good way when just enough of us make the effort for the common good to kind of bring everybody along. So please keep going. So look, that's enough for me. Before I sign off, I just want to really thank and appreciate the Psi Upsilon fraternity and foundation leadership and the volunteer steering committee and all of the donors who have made this fellowship program possible. To me, this is what a brotherhood like Psi U should be about, and it's great to see that it is. So please enjoy the reception and the rest of your evening. I'm with you in spirit. Thanks very much.